You want to see how I got this look? Stay tuned for more. Right here, you take your Milk Hydro Grip Primer and apply it all over your face, as you can see here. Next, you take your Anastasia Brow Wiz. My color is in dark brown, and as you can see, I have the spoolie in which I'm going to use first to brush out my eyebrows, and I'm going to do the same thing on the next side. I'm going to let that set for 2 seconds. As you can see, I'm fanning myself. Now I'm going to go into the pencil end, and I'm going to start outlining the bottom brow and the top brow at the same time. Right here is very crucial that you take your time, and as you can see, we have one brow done, and you just want to take your time, no rush. One brow down, next one to go. Okay, take a look. Make sure they look even. Make sure you're not missing any spots. And go back in with your spoolie end and kind of brush out the product evenly through your eyebrows. Next, I'm going to take the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, and I'm going to apply that to my eyebrows. In oldie but goodie, as you can see, I'm going into the Becca Black Light Targeted Color Corrector in Peach. I'm going to apply that in all of the areas that I have dark spots, any hyperpigmentation to conceal. As you can see, I took a beauty blender and I massaged that product into my face. Next, I went into MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NW45, and I'm going to use that to conceal my eyebrows underneath and on top. And as you can see, I applied it and I'm dragging it down. This part here is very crucial to take your time, and there is no rush as you want this to be blended all the way down. Your eyebrows are Irish twins, so whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Oh, hey, girl. Oh, yeah. I was feeling myself. I was like, yes, these brows is coming together, honey. The brush that I'm using is from MAC, number 195, to conceal my eyebrows. Okay, like I said, what you do to one brow, you have to do to the other. So this part I sped up because we already talked about how to get those brows on fleek. Okay, I'm going back in, making sure I touch up any spots that I missed or may have taken off with the brush. We're looking good. All right, going back into that brow gel, making sure I set again. Next, I have my Nars Sheer Glow Foundation in the color Caracas. That's medium dark 3.3. And I'm shaking it up. Shake, 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 shake. Yes, shake it up. I'm gonna take my Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation in the number 338 Spicy Brown and mix that with the Nars. I am no longer my winter shade, but I am no longer a summer shade either. I'm right in between. So mixing both foundations just gives me the perfect color. And as you can see, I'm taking my Marc Jacobs Kabuki brush and I'm applying that all over my face. Yes, apply, apply, apply. Rub it in. This part here is crucial. You want to take your time. You don't want to rush. You want your foundation to be evenly distributed across your face, and you want to give it time to set as well. Next, as you can see, I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. The base is in white, and I'm going to use that on my eyelid. And I'm speeding up this part because, as we know, of course, you only need a little bit. You apply this to your eyelid very generously, and then I'm going to take a beauty blender and I'm going to buff that out so I can have an even base, because I'm going to be going into my eyeshadow next, as you can see. The transition shade that I'm going to be using is a faithful from MAC. It is called Saddle. And I want to use that in my crease. I want to keep it light. So Saddle is just the perfect transition shade. It's not too dark. I don't want my eyes to be muddy. I'm using a MAC 217 brush to go ahead and apply Saddle into that crease area. You want to take your time here, making sure that you really blend that transition color. And as you can see, my eyelids are smaller, so I had to start my crease above my actual natural crease in order for you to see that transition shade. We're looking good so far. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and take rice paper from MAC, and I'm gonna utilize that on the inner lids, as you can see. And this brush is a brush that I've had for a long time. I don't even know the name of it. And just apply. Now that I have completed both eyelids with the rice paper from MAC, I'm going to go into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette into the color Cyber Umber. And I want to use that on the outer corner of my eyelid just to deepen the transition just a little bit. And I'm using a BH Cosmetics blending brush. There's no number on it. Probably wiped it off, but yeah, so you just want to take that brush and kind of go back into your palette. Just deepen the outer corners of your eyelids. Once again, we don't want to make this look muddy, but we just want to have a nice smoky transition. As you can see here, I picked back up the MAC 217 brush with the transition color Saddle, and I'm going ahead and putting that right on top, just making sure I blend. Yes, let's take a look. It looks really good. And just take your time with this. Like I said, once again, you want to make sure your colors are transitioning very nice. Next, I'm going back into the Anastasia palette, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up Primavera, and I'm going to put that on top of the rice paper. I know it may look like I'm killing my eyelid, but I'm not. I'm just making sure that I pack on that Primavera shade because I want that color to pop. And as you can see, it is. All right, let's go ahead and speed this on up, making sure I do touch-ups, making sure everything is blended. And now I'm gonna go into Vermeer in the same palette. I'm gonna pick that up on the brush that comes in the palette, and I'm gonna apply that to my brow bone. Right underneath, just a little bit is all you need. You wanna make sure you put just a little bit because the light will pick it up, and you don't wanna saturate your transition shade either. As you can see, I picked back up my 217 MAC brush with the transition shade just to go ahead and buff that brow bone color out. I want to make sure it blends flawlessly between the colors. Surprise! So we're going in with a pop of color. I got this Techno crayon color. I don't know when, I've had it for a long time, but I'm going to apply that to the lower waterline on both of my eyelids. And just be very gentle. You don't want to poke your eye out. All right, it might not look as blue here, but we're gonna go ahead and go into a MAC Bare My Soul eyeshadow palette. I believe the color is When in Rio, and we're gonna take the MAC brush 212 and we're going to deepen that blue shade along the lash line. Okay, here you can see I start to drag that product out. I'm doing a almost reversed wing liner with the product on my brush that I have. I'm not dipping too much back into that When in Rio color. I'm just dragging it. Yes. As you can see, I'm just blotting my face again with the Marc Jacobs Kabuki brush. And then now we're going to do my favorite part, which is the conceal part. I'm taking the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Walnut, which is a medium dark 2.6 color, and I'm applying that underneath both of my eyelids, down my nose, around my lips, on my chin, and on my forehead, and I'm going to let that set. As you can see, now we're contouring the face. I'm utilizing Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation Stick in the color Chestnut, number 9. And I'm going on top of my forehead, the hollows of my cheeks, and underneath my neck all the way around. While that contour shade sits, I am buffing out that concealer, and just take your time. Yeah, so we're buffing away, buffing away. I fast forwarded this section because you already know we gotta buff that concealer out. And then after we buff all the concealer out, I'm gonna take another beauty blender and buff out my actual darker concealer, the contour shade, all around my neck, the hollows of my cheek, and my forehead. And you wanna make sure that you just press that in and not to drag it because you don't want your face muddy. I went in with a Morphe M530 brush and kind of buffed out that contour shade. I added a little bit more and then buffed it out. As you can see, I am going into Tarte's Shape Tape Concealer. The color that I'm using is Tan Deep Honey 47H. And I just wanted to brighten up that first concealer that I put on, which was the Nars. I want to make sure that anywhere I have concealer, it's really popping. I just wanted to tell you all that this part is optional. I actually put this second layer of concealer on because I was going somewhere special and you all will get to see, but I needed to make sure that I super concealed and no crumbs were left behind. Blend, blend, blend. As you can see, we are blended, blended, blended. All the colors are marrying together. There's no harsh lines, which we don't want. This is why this part takes so long. And as you can see, I'm just going back into that Nars concealer and I'm going to carve out underneath that contour. As you can see, I have taken my beauty blender that I used on my concealer, not the contour, and I'm actually pulling that down and blending it in so that contour can look very, very chiseled. But at the same time, this part cleans it up too. So if you got a little muddy with your contour, excuse me, here's the time that you're going to actually be able to clean it up. All right, final looks. Let's make sure we blend, 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 blend. This part does take the longest, like I said before, but it's worth it because you don't want any harsh lines. So take your time. Okay, I'm gonna take that Bobbi Brown foundation stick and I'm going to actually chisel my nose. If your hands are not steady here, you will create, I don't know, but make sure you take your time. And as you can see, I've been doing this for a while now, so I could just use the foundation stick itself and go ahead and contour my nose. And as you can see, I'm taking the tip of the contour beauty blender that I used and I'm dragging it all the way into the front of my eyebrow. You want to make sure that this is smoothly transitioned on your face because you do not want your nose to look crazy. Trust. And I know contouring your nose is not for everyone. I contour mine just to make it a little bit slimmer in appearance. I already have a slim, kind of pointy nose, but I love to contour my nose to give it that slimmer, chiseled look. It looks really good, but you don't have to do this step. As you can see, I'm just blending, blending, blending away, making sure everything looks good and seamless. Next, I'm going to take the Juvia's Place, I had it backwards, the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Setting Powder. I am in the color Gobi, And I'm going to apply that everywhere that I have put the concealer, just to set. This part is very important. This helps prevent your creasing, and you just want to set that concealer right. Next, we're going to go into MAC Studio Fix NW58, and I'm going to use this to set my actual contour shade. And as you can see, it's a little deeper than my skin color, and I'm going to use that contour brush. And you want to be very, very light with this part. As you can see, I swirled, but I forgot to tap. And honey, we started looking real muddy. But don't worry, I fixed it. I'm setting everywhere that I put that contour shade and making sure I blend effortlessly, because we want to not create any lines like we said. I know y'all are right now watching this video saying it's giving Lion King. But give it a second. Once we blend and set the makeup, I promise you it is not going to look crazy. All right, as you can see, we are finishing up the blending, and now we're going to set that contour that we have on our nose. I utilized a Morphe M408 brush, and we want to just make sure that that contour is set. All right, I think that's enough blending. Now we're gonna go ahead and go back into the lower lash line, do any touch-ups that came off, and we're looking good. And then next we're gonna go into the Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder. I'm in the color medium deep. As you can see, I held the box up for you all. And this brush, I don't know what the name of this brush is, but it's a fluffy brush. I'm going to only use a little bit of that powder, and I'm going to apply it all over my face because now I want to set the entire face. This step here allows all of your colors to be blended seamlessly, and don't be scared. Don't brush your face off now, but lightly just go around your face. You want to go ahead and marry all of the colors together. Make sure it's seamless. Oh my God, this next step coming up, I'm so excited about. As you can see, I have the Nars Taj Mahal blush. Let me tell y'all, I am late to the party and I'm never late. But this blush right here has changed my life. I literally love it so much. As you can tell, it's orange with gold undertones, and it just marries so well against my skin tone. As you know, we African Americans, a lot of pinks can't work for us. I mean, you can try, you gotta sparsely use them, but when I tell you this is a must-have, you won't need to utilize any blush anymore, and or a highlighter either. This is like a 2-in-1. I love it, and as you can see, I applied to my cheeks, and it looks so natural and fresh.
I have it upside down. This is going to be the Nefertiti, the Nubian Loose Highlighter by Juvia's Place that I'm utilizing. I am only going to use just a little bit. As you can see, I took my finger and just used what was in the lid, and I'm going to highlight my nose.
You want to keep it light doing this part. You do not want a stripe all the way down your nose. And as you can see, I just took a little bit, put it on my forehead, and I used the brush and fluffed it out. This part here is very important to just be sparse with it, because you do not want to walk around with a stripe down your nose. I'm gonna apply what's left on my finger to my upper lip and my cupid's bow. Ignore my lips, they have so much foundation and product on it. I'm going back in one more time before I actually set my face, make sure my eyebrows are on point. And this usually, you might have to go in 2 or 3 times because you use foundation, concealers, and some of your brow might come off. So I fast forwarded this part. I'm just touching up wherever I may have messed up my eyebrow.
Here I'm using Urban Decay's All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. You already know. And very important, please cover your actual eyelids. You don't want to wet your eyeshadow up and then it starts dripping. At this point, I was just being extra. Y'all don't have to do this step. I don't know what I was thinking. But while I let that absorb into my skin, I'm going to do minor touch-ups, especially to that lower lash line, as you can see. All right, now that the setting spray has been absorbed, I'm going to apply MAC's Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara to my lower lashes. Now let me tell y'all a secret. Always apply your mascara after you have set your face, because if you do it before and you wet your face, your mascara will run. And as you can see, I was moving too quick, had a little spot under there that I went beyond. I had to clean it up with a Q-tip, and then I came back, made sure I concealed again, made sure I pressed everything in.
All right, we're looking good. Now we're gonna go ahead and wipe my lips off. How are we gonna wipe my lips off? I'm gonna wipe my lips off. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply MAC's Lip Primer.
Now that our lips are moisturized and ready to go, I took a lip pencil by MAC in the color Currant, and I started to outline my lips.
Okay, so when outlining your lips, it's your preference. If you want your lips to look bigger, you'll go above or around your actual natural lip shape. For me, my lips are already big, so I just need to outline them. And as you can see here, I took that MAC concealer, and utilizing the concealer brush, I went around my lips to clean up that lip liner and made sure that everything was blended around my mouth.
As you can tell here, I just cleaned up my line just a little bit more, pressed my lips together. That lip liner starts to migrate onto your lips, so you don't need a lot. Okay, now to apply the lipstick, I'm using MAC's Cyber, and I'm going to apply that all over my top and bottom lips. Whatever you do the finger test. Watch what I'm telling you. There you go. Nobody will ever tell you that you have lipstick on your teeth, and it's so annoying. Next, I'm going to go in with the color Coral Sands by L'Oreal Paris. It's the Infallible 8-Hour Pro Gloss. And I'm going to add that into the middle of my top lip and the middle of my bottom lip. And it's going to give some depth to the actual lipstick that we just put on. And we want to just make sure that we kind of brighten it up. Guys, we are done. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below. I hope you love this look. And I am so excited to share with you all what this look was for. Y'all take care. Bye.